Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Miami Dolphins and the New York Jets. Here's the kicker, Jason Myers, to get this one started. These folks are ready, and we are underway. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And his first look is incomplete.
Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it, when you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And gets by him, and now a little daylight. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. 17 yards for the Dolphins there as they've got themselves a first down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Now the former 4th-round pick, it's Kalen Ballage. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Darren Lee there to get him down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Back there, Philly, here we go. Now let's go. Green.
They'll run here with Ballage and give him about 5 as he gets this up to the 48-yard line.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Gun. Set. Green 39. Green 39. Watch it now, Barney.
They'll set up to throw. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the Tucker rule that they can fall back on anymore.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. This is fielded at the 7th. They'll net only 35 here following a 43-yard boot, 8-yard return. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down.
Over.
They'll start on the ground with Harris. And he'll go down after losing yardage at the 10. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, that one was over before it could get rolling. How about the D just knifing into the backfield and shutting that one down?
Faking the give. Darnold rolling to his right. Sideline throw. It's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay inbounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when he rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 34. just sets him up beautifully right down near the goal line.
I remember being in a defensive meeting back when I was in college, and our defensive coordinator says, we're going to call this be who you are defense. D linemen, you play the run. Linebackers, be aware of anything. And secondary, you play the pass. That way, you're all set, ready for whatever they put out there.
Here's a run with Barrage. Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2. No gain there, and it's going to set up 2nd and goal. 2nd and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line. Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. Things made a little more difficult after the false start as they try again on 2nd and goal.
Now let's go.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line. Darren Lee leading the surge there. He drops him for a loss of 6. Maybe the first big test of the season here on both sides. This is 3rd and goal.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19. Gone, gone. Gone, gone.
He'll drop to throw. Flush to his right. He can run for it, and he will. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. Able to pick up a dozen yards, but they needed more. 4th down.
I liked his effort there. He got it done on his own. But let's face it, he puts defenses in a really stressful spot when he takes off and runs because a lot of guys have coverage responsibilities.
Good job of rallying, though, because I thought when he first took off, he might pick up the 1st down. They took it all the way to the 1, but in the end, opt for 3.
Just doesn't sound right, does it? If you get all the way down to the 1-yard line, isn't that supposed to be a play in the end zone that culminates in a touchdown for your team?
And per usual, it felt like the guys on the sideline wanted to go ahead and go for it.
Of course they did, but of course head coach, it defers back to him, and he made the decision, let's get 3 out of this, make sure we get some points.
Darnold going to lead the Jets up now, 1st and 10 at their own 26. A handoff to Harris to begin the drive. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Here's a carry now for Keith Marshall. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. Cordray Tankersley on the stop defensively.
Nice job there defensively on 3rd down. Not only did they string the play out, but they didn't allow any room for a cutback. Really well organized on the defensive side.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
With Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin with you. It's the Jets in possession as we begin quarter number 2 here. Darnold on 3rd down. Over the middle, that's caught by Hogan. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll run with Marshall. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. In on the stop, it was Travarius Moore.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
From the gun on third down, here's Darnold. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first. This is Marshall. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here. This is Harris. And he's got room. And down inside the 15 he goes. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Jets move the chains.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up first downs.
First red zone opportunity now for the Jets. It's 1st and 10 at the 14. Darnold now to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and it'll be a second down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. The Jets on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. A shotgun snap for Darnold. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Raekwon McMillan. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. He'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack. Avery Williamson in there to take him down and to take us to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back to MetLife Stadium after this short timeout. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. They'll run it now out of the gun. And not much there as he gets it up to about the 5-yard line. Now here's a timeout defensively. Defensive timeout called by the Jets. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on third down.
Green 39. Green 39.
They'll set up a throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And some space here. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. So that is 3 interceptions now in this first half, and you hate to ask the question, but let's be honest, we're thinking about it. Do you need to go in a different direction next series?
Potentially. We know that he's probably not going to be on the Pro Bowl ballot. That's not really his stature here. But he has been their starting quarterback for this game. So they've got to weigh things about who's behind him. Do they think he can snap it back into gear? Maybe change up the play calling to help him out a little bit.
Hurry up, here we go.
Now Balaj. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things that they really want to accomplish, and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
Now the Jets are going to burn another timeout as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. The kick by Sanders is good. And that will add 3 more to their lead. It pushes it up to 6. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you've got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Just over 30 seconds to go in the half. They've got it 1st and 10.
Watch him now, Barney, Barney. Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. Taking a shot here for Marshall. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on it at 2nd down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. Back to the air, Darnold on 2nd down. Flushed out right. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
The Jets on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Off of play action, Darnold. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now. On 4th down, here's Brett Kern to punt the football away. Jakeem Grant back deep for Miami. Just a 30-yard punt that time. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Detroit! Detroit! Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90. Watch him now, Barney, Barney.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Going deep for Moncrief. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete. All right, we will save the Week 1 highlights and apparently get right back to the action here in the 3rd. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And the Jets set to take the field. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. They run again with Harris. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. It'll be a 5-yard pickup there, so from 2nd and 13, they're back to a more manageable 3rd and 8. Play action. It's Darnold. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. Raekwon McMillan in there to get him for a loss of 9, and that'll lead to 4th down. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Taking it about the 16. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And it'll be Dolphin football. So here are the Dolphins now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Hey, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw, and it's incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
The Dolphins on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. He'll look to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Marcus May with a pick. So the first interception of his career under center, and you knew it was going to happen sooner or later.
It has to. And I know he feels like the world is just tumbling down at this moment, but there's got to be some veteran somewhere, some mentor that's going to tell him, hang in there, my man. Plenty more to come. Keep firing.
Darnold going to lead the Jets up now, 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Harris starts the drive on the ground, and he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Detroit!
On 2nd down, Darnold. He's going to go for a big play downfield. This is caught inside the 15. Big yardage that time for the Jets. 45 yards. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
Good yardage on first down. Now can they punch it in on second and goal? They'll try to run with Harris. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play. And that'll make it third and goal. Here's Darnold. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Raekwon McMillan. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Thought they had something going there to break that goose egg here in the second half, but to no avail.
Hope was alive until that interception. What a terrific play, taking the ball away after it looked like they were starting a drive.
And now that shutout still standing. You know that's something those defensive guys hold a lot of pride on, too.
No doubt about it.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. A big play there. An 80-yard touchdown. And the Dolphins add on to their lead.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90. Detroit. Detroit. Hot. Hot.
Out of the gun. They'll look to throw. That is caught. He's got it. And the lead will move to 14-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken at the 3. Gets around him and spinning now. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And New York set to take the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
And here's Marshall. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. Minka Fitzpatrick made the play defensively, the first-round pick out of Alabama.
I think if they want to start getting back into this game, it behooves them to get better on first down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive.
Leopard! Leopard! Gone! 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 Gone!
Here's Darnold now on second down. And that would not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time has now run out on this third quarter of play. The Jets on third down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. Darnold from the gun. He's got his man. It's Williams. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first. On first down, it's Darnold. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Here's Darnold. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up third down. The Jets on third down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This will be 3rd and 15.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. Being chased out, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. 4th down, and for Darnold, it's desperation time. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. The Jets try it, but the 4th down play doesn't work. And the Dolphins get the football in great field position. They run it with Balaj. Oh, now he bowls him over. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the fourth quarter, we see both teams hold up the 4 fingers, fourth quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the 4 fingers for 4-minute offense, and this offensive line has really hunkered down and established themselves.
Now, this is where they say, put the game on our shoulders, we'll lead the way, right?
No doubt about it, and let me tell you.
And intercepted, maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by Jamal Adams. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. 2-score game here in the fourth, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a 2-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on it trying to drain some clock.
Under pressure, they got him again.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
So after the sack, they'll come up on a still manageable 2nd and 13. They'll fake the handoff. Now Darnold eluding the pressure right. Now he'll let it go deep right. It got his man complete. A gain of 32 that time. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
A first down throw, Darnold. He sets to fire deep. And this is caught inside the 5. Big yardage that time for the Jets. 49 yards.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back.
And he is in. Touchdown, New York. Keith Marshall taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Jets have made this a 1-score game. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how we're going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
Jakeem Grant now to return. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. I'm curious to see, Charles, about the play calling on this drive. Last time out, the interception that led to a touchdown. Here we are. I mean, very close, 1-score game.
Yeah, and if I'm a defender, I'm actually chirping to you on the other side of the ball, saying, hey, we picked off the last one. What you going to do about it now? So when you do throw the football, high percentage, but throw with confidence. Because if there's any hesitancy at all, it could end up in enemy's hands again.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down. Just week 1, but already plenty of intrigue where the game's going on, and this one no different as we come up on a 1st and 10. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. We're not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Now let's go. 3-19.
Back to throw now on 1st down. Trying to lay one up deep. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. That one looks like he'll throw here. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete.
Well, the struggles continue. Open targets, and he keeps missing them, pressing way too much. He may have a big arm, but until he learns how to harness it and have some touch, he's going to continue to struggle.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And now another one thrown incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the Jets offense will be backed up to start this drive as they've got it 1st and 10. Now the Jets offense gets ready to head back on the field. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. Doesn't matter where you start with the football now, they have to feel great about their opportunity.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Back to throw. The throw left side complete to Hogan. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion. I tell you, it has not been his best day throwing the football. He really needs to piece something together here.
All will be forgiven if he leads them into the end zone.
And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off at the 36. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
This will be caught inside the 10. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. A good pick up there of 20 yards. It's 1st and goal, and a late touchdown at this stage could officially salt this one away. Balaj. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. Looking at this now, you got a couple more cracks here this close. Sneak it?
I don't think you even go into a huddle. Just line up, snap it, and fall in behind those guys into the end zone.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. He's going to get it running right. And he's across for the touchdown. And in the final minute, that should just about seal it.
And that touchdown should make you feel comfortable. But do you really feel like it's totally over yet?
Not totally, but I think you're pretty much there.
Yeah, you've still got to make sure you stay with it, do all the right things down the stretch, especially on defense. But that touchdown there, you've got to feel good about your chances.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So out now come the Jets. They have a little bit of time left here, but this one not going to go their way.
And this is where, in this situation for me, you just go ahead and run out the clock, shake hands, congratulations, and move on. Because now, you're not going to make up for what's happened during the game in this last sequence.
We'll see what they do here in this last sequence.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And this is intercepted. And that should do it. Picked off at the 35. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. Well, when I saw the pressure coming at him, that just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it. And the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. And partner, this first week, this first game that we get to call together, so special every year, week one. You had the flyover, the big American flag out there before the game, all the hoopla, just having football back, so special.
It is an opening day, opening game. There's just nothing like it because you really build to a crescendo. But the best part for us is that crescendo lasts for a while. Opening game here, an entire season. We get into the playoffs, to the Super Bowl. I was really excited. I could barely sleep last night. I can't imagine being a player.
So for Miami, not much to complain about here. They come in and steal a victory in a tough place to play on a Sunday night. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the Pittsburgh Steelers. Meanwhile, for the Jets, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll have a chance at redemption next week at home against the Indianapolis Colts. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.